Man, what's up, pinball people? This is gonna be a weird video. I didn't expect this. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, um, so a potential business partner that I was gonna work with, I was gonna fly to Chicago to meet them this month or next. That was kind of the plan. They just like shit all over me online, and it's really interesting. So I just want to clear up my company, get the information out there. I've had pre-orders. I've had a lot of people that want to buy. That's when it's proven, and beyond that, I have an email list of like 500 people. So I know what I'm doing is cool, and only I know the cost for me to build stuff. I've proven everything that I've built in house, so I'm not sure why this dude just shit on me, but let's just go down a list of some things. So I put out a pinball trailer once again. This is on YouTube. This is running on all of my own pinball hardware. Literally everything. Everything in this video is built by me. So I know the price to build it. Whether it's a pain in the ass to build it, I don't know. But I mean, it is, some of it. But it's still cheaper to build and be a pain in the ass. So that's why I'm going forward with it, because I want to be a cheap pinball company. I'd rather build one game a day at a different price point than what it would be to have the throughput of 2 or 3 games with a higher price of materials. I've also done lots of research on clear coats to protect my playfield. So here's a wire form rail that's not built like a normal one, and here's some plastic playfield materials. I've probably went through 10 or 20 of those. So I'm definitely putting in the time to do the research and R&D. I don't know why, again, somebody that's a business professional would put me down in such a way, and we'll get to that at some point. Here is some correspondence with a guy named Don's Pinball Podcast. He's well known. I sent him a personal video on YouTube of a pre-beta of all my working stuff. Again, it's all my own hardware. It's basically the latest update of my Pinball Eternal game. Just watched the video. I'm blown away with everything so far, man. The comment before this that I sent to him was, hey, if I could get you a game for under 3,000 bucks, would you be interested to buy it? You'd be the first person to own it. You could play it. We could go back and forth. I could send you updated builds, or if you find bugs, to iron this process out before I go public and ship to other people and whatnot. And he said he was interested, so I was going to let him be the first streamer of my game. Again, I don't think there's any harm in there, and I was going to sell him a game for under $3,000. That's a pinball machine. Just, I don't know. So, final design. If anyone didn't know, again, stuff scattered all over. This is an early version. This is not what my game currently looks like, but this was the 3D layout of all the design for Pinball Eternal. My back box is bigger now. Some shots have moved. A lot of shots have moved. But that's what I'm aiming for, dude. A game that's about 3,000 bucks that looks like that. Here is a scoop assembly. So this is kind of going back again on proving my tech and my point here. Well, I guess before that, let's just go into the heart of this video here. So again, this guy who's his name is Pinball Life. His name's Terry. I don't know why we're in this position right now. Some guy on a website that's a pinball website said, hey, that seems like a stupid idea to build all your own stuff. Wouldn't you rather be in bed with your wife who's Mrs. Ecuador in the Miss World beauty pageant? I mean, that's a dude that is taking the time to figure out who my wife is. Like the shit she's doing, like looking at photos of her. And going back in time like at least 3 months into her personal life. So I merely just responded like, look dude, here's how I plan to do it again. I've talked about this before, how I build my own parts. And then on top of this dude like talking shit about my wife, he talks shit about my wife and says, well, this guy's never going to build a pinball machine company. But really, if he does, I guess he has a hot model to his wife can model his pinball machines. Like, okay, like the next comment after that is again, a business professional in pinball. I think one of the biggest parts suppliers, if not the biggest one, out of Chicago, Illinois. He piles on top of that after that guy to just basically shit on everything I've done for the last 5 years. Tell me I'm just a piece of shit. So I'm just going to read some of this. I'm just correcting some record here. Like I had mentioned how I build my coils. He says in order to build coils and get into the pinball coil building business, you have to spend at least $100,000 plus $15,000 plus another $50,000 plus $2,000. So I guess we're at $175,000 I'm supposed to have spent at this point. And everything I proved in my company just to build one part for my company. That part I originally designed when I just was trying to see if I could make a low budget pinball machine. I had about $55 put in my company to prove that concept, to prove that I can build that part. I build that part for about $3. Nobody can take that away from me. Is it a pain in the ass to build them right now? Yes. When I scale and build some machines to automate it a little bit, is it going to get a lot better? Yes. But right now they're about $3. I can get it down to maybe $2.50, and there's some different pricing with COVID and changes. I'll rerun the bill of materials, but that's where I'm at, dude. Again, I've shown everything working. That game runs on all my own coils. It runs on all my own hardware, software. It runs on every mechanical thing that I have built. Nobody can take that away from me. No pinball parts supplier can take that away from me. Why a businessman would shit on me that way, that I was literally just going to fly and meet, is not reasonable. And then he says, you could just pay me the $10 or you can decide to strike out and completely be a fucking loser and think that you can do it cheaper. I'm doing it cheaper, dude. It's $250. Like, I built it in-house for $250. Like, lay off my shit, dude. Like, do you want to sell me parts or not? It's going to be a great education and you're going to waste your time. Like, what the fuck, dude? Manufacturing appears simple at first, but you get into it, you respect it. Dude, for 5 years of my life as Adam Plowski, I have spent to see if I could build an affordable pinball game, and I'm pretty fucking close. And Don's Pinball Podcast, a well-known podcaster, has seen that product almost complete. I've shared with him, stuff about special inlay processes. I'm not even doing inlays the way people would think. Again, this guy's talking about injection molding to make coils and stuff. I'm not injection molding. Like, just people don't understand the mountain that I climbed in thinking differently and in making this company. Like, unless you've actually taken 1,000 or 2,000 hours to think, how could I build a pinball machine for $2,000? That's a freaking high bar to go and try and figure out. And I don't know, man. It just seems really weird. Again, just completely crazy, completely disgusted. I don't know. So anyway, here's just kind of like a cost breakdown of how I build coils. I buy raw copper wire. I spin it. It works. You can watch, again, the videos of my games working with this copper wire in it. $2.41, and that's only in a 10-pound spool. If I buy a 100-pound spool, it's probably going to go down to $2. There's some manual labor involved. Add $1, so I have $3 a coil for, like, I have a game with 55 coils. It saves the customer $400 if I build them in-house and spend an extra hour or two making them in-house with parts and labor. I'd rather make, a lower volume pinball product than to scale big and then have to push $500 bill of materials to my customers. There's a guy that I talk to every week who owns the Pinball Arcade. They're very well known in Florida. They're called the Pinball Lounge. The owner's name is Ed. I once said to him, hey, because every Friday night they have a $10 entry. You can play all the pinball you want. They have 40 games. They run all of the tournaments in Florida. I said, hey, Ed, you could probably boost your price up to like $15 instead of the $10 on your Friday night and get away with it. I went to the other arcade up the road and blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, you know what, Adam, we talked about it, but, unless this place is jam-packed where I have to raise the price and push certain customers out, like, I'm cool with the $10. So that's $5. So if that's $5 a customer and he's got 40 games there, if every person's playing a game, it's 5 times 40 times 52 weeks. It's like 10 grand extra a year he could make to raise his price for only $5. And nobody would care, but he's not doing it because he doesn't care about 10 grand. And I don't care about 2 million. I do care about making maybe like $1 million in like a couple of years on this. I don't need 10 million bucks to build a pinball machine company. It's just, I don't care. I'll build a few a year. I'll scale. I'll see how much interest there is. I'll see if my products hold up long term. But anyway, I mean, there's my cost analysis of like how I build pinball coils. You can see that. And then here's a video. Again, I posted all this online, but well, this I haven't, but this is me in my garage, and I'm throwing a ball into a pinball scoop assembly. It's got a pinball coil I built in it. So this is entirely my own product. I'm throwing it in, and it kicks it out 100 miles an hour over and over again, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 times. I didn't need $175,000 to build that part. I built that part with $55 of my own money. It works. It doesn't overheat. If you watch the video, you'll see the angle that it shoots out of there. There is about a deviation of about 1 degree left or right. So when it goes and shoots, it's not 100% pinpoint accurate right now. I don't really need it to be, but I'm going to try and get it to be dead accurate every time it comes out of there. There's one other thing too. I just wanted to show you guys this. So this is February 11th, 2022. I wrote this guy personally. Again, a business partner. I was just going to visit. Hey, give me a price. I'm hand making coils and bobbins a proprietary way, pretty cheap, but always shopping for possible alternatives. I'm trying to bring a lower budget pinball machine to market, and coils are one of the simpler, not hardest thing in the world, not some crazy thing that he's talking about. The simplest thing that I can build to make these games cheaper in-house. Thank you. And he gave me a price for this part. He has known for 2 years that I was going to buy this part in order to wind my own coils. He's had no issue with that. None. If I couldn't do it, he should have advised me here privately and professionally that, hey, I would advise against building your own coils because you need $175,000 to do it. Guys, I don't have $175,000 to blow on trying to make a pinball machine company. It's not a reasonable thing to say at this point. So, again, just complete nonsense and complete blown away, because now I have to, I think at this point I got to get a different supplier. I've talked with another supplier going back a few years ago in 2019. The other major supplier, his brother who works at that place, came to my booth, saw my Megadeth game, which was a piece of shit at the time, but that was the beginning of my company. He was so cool, like impressed by it, that the guy of that company took a photo of it, said I'm going to send it to my brother who owns this other supplier company. And that's like when I was a nobody. I'm at least kind of getting somewhere to be a somebody, but dude. And then on top of that, another employee of that supplier at Free Play Florida and Southern Fried Gaming has visited my booth and talked with me twice, interviewed me, had no issue with me. So I think, man, like if I can't find a supplier, then I'm going to build these other couple parts in-house. And I really don't want to. They're a part that literally I cannot build actually cheaper. It's annoying to build. But man, I'm at a loss.